And it's great to welcome back to Flow FM. We spoke to him before Christmas, and it's great to be chatting to him again. He's a champion too, folks, the world number 3 snooker player at the moment, the Melbourne Machine, as he likes to be called, Neil Robertson. G'day, Neil. How are you today, mate?
Hey there. Yeah, very good. Thanks, and thanks for having me on the show again.
It is an absolute pleasure. Now, congratulations on your recent victory, and it was over Ronnie O'Sullivan, and you beat him quite convincingly, 10-4, and he spent most of his time just sitting there watching you play.
Yeah, that's the thing with snooker, is that, being an individual sport and, when your opponent's at the table, there's not really too much you can do to stop them apart from hoping that they miss or, make a mistake. So, yeah, the whole week went really well. I won all my matches really convincingly, and I certainly put it down to the best performance I've probably done in my career from start to finish in an event. I won the quarterfinal 10-5, the semis 10-3 over Mark Selby, and to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan 10-4 in the final was awesome.
Ronnie is quoted as saying that your cueing was absolutely sublime. Did it feel that way for you while you're at the table?
Yeah, it's a nice place to be. Especially when there was such a big match that, in that night session, I just felt as though I couldn't really miss, and every time I got a chance, I'd make a really big break and win the frames, and, Ronnie was really complimentary. He said that he had the best seat in the house to just enjoy watching what I was doing, so, to get such compliments from such an amazing player, was really nice, and, it's certainly going to hold me in good stead, hopefully for the World Championships.
We're certainly hoping so. We're keeping our fingers crossed for you. And I'm just sort of wondering, Neil, has your new hairstyle had anything to do with your performance?
Yeah, some people say that, because, obviously in the UK, I think the hairdresser's been closed for for close to about 5 months or something like that. So, I haven't had a haircut in that time. And I think Alan McManus, one of the players, who was doing some punditry work, saying it was like the powers of Samson or something, where you don't get your hair cut or something. I don't know. So he quoted something sort of silly. So I'm going to keep it going. I think in the World Championships, just not have a haircut and see how it carries me through.
It was looking at your style. It's reminding of back in the 80s of the hairstyles that some of us older folks used to wear. Yeah, no, it's a bit, gets pretty crazy, but my daughter has the same kind of hair, actually. Her hair's getting quite long at the moment. She's only just turned 2, and you can certainly see the similar traits with her dad as well. Now, the World Championships start at the Crucible on the 17th, running through to May the 3rd, so it's this Saturday. You're seated at number 3. Your recent victory helped you to get that seeding. How's the training and all that going up in the lead up to it? How are you feeling? Is your cueing still feeling sublime, or are you still working on it?
Yeah, it's just about maintaining the level. You don't really want to be working too hard at this point before the World Championships. You want to be making sure that you're doing just enough just to keep things ticking over nicely. And then, yesterday when I was practicing with someone who's playing in the Q school this year. I had back-to-back 147s, which is like 2 perfect breaks in a row, which doesn't happen very often. So, playing very well still, which is nice. And, today I'll be just doing some solo practice just on my own, just keep things ticking over. And, all the hard work's been done, right, throughout the whole season and everything. There's nothing really I can do. It makes no difference if I practice an hour a day or 6 hours a day now coming into the Worlds. There's nothing really more to do other than fine-tuning.
How do you relax away from the game, just to keep that energy right? How do you, to forget about it and then just walk away and just recharge yourself? What do you do?
Being at home, just as at home, really. My daughter's 2, my son's 10, so yesterday, for example, I guess when I finished practice, I had some interviews to do, and then my son came back from school, and I took him to football training, and then after the footy training, then you have dinner, and then watching the Chelsea-Porto game from the Champions League, the soccer over here, so which we're really into, and so the time gets filled pretty quickly, actually, especially when you're a dad of two young kids. So that kind of takes my attention away, really, and it's quite nice. It lets me sort of chill and relax, away from the game. And I guess that's one of the opportunities that I've taken
not having to travel so much with us missing most of the overseas tournaments, that I've actually been able to be home and enjoy being a dad.
You're a Chelsea fan, so how do you think they'll go in the Champions League? Do you think they will make the final?
Yeah, well, last night was good to progress through, and play the winner of Real Madrid and Liverpool, which is being played tonight actually. So I'll be watching that to see how that goes, and I think we've got a good chance of making the final. We're a tough team to beat, and Thomas Tuchel's got us, playing very well, and really good sort of team spirit and stuff. So. Every chance to get to the final. It's just that, once you get to the final, you want to make sure that you convert it into the win, because those chances don't come along very often.
Well, we go for Liverpool here, and hopefully they'll if you do get to play, right. We'll take care of you, hopefully, but we got to get there first. So now you mentioned,
tough ask.
Yes, very much so. Now, you mentioned being a dad, and I understand you caught up with your dad recently. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's over here now, actually, as well, which is fantastic. So that gave me a really nice boost. But just before the Tour Championships, actually, I was sort of pretty down with things, and hadn't seen him for nearly 2 years, and it was getting really tough. So it was fantastic to find a way for him to be able to get over here, and really help me and my family as well. So we're really thrilled to have him here.
Has he given you some advice on your sublime cueing?
Yeah, he can't help himself, but he was watching me play yesterday, and I just need to remind him, hey, Dad, I'm not 13 anymore. I've got this. I know what I'm doing.
And I saw a shot, I think it was last night or the night before, from Lewis Heathcote, an amazing sort of shot to pot the yellow. Have you seen the shot? You know the one I'm referring to?
Yeah, that will never, ever happen again, ever in the history of the game. That was, he's just trying to hit the yellow, right? But for it to go in and then land on the green, you could honestly spend an entire year just playing that shot every day, and you'll never be able to replicate it. So it's just one of the most amazing things. I guess it can happen on a snooker table, I guess. So it was amazing. The commentators were sort of stuck for words as well. They just couldn't really see. They couldn't believe what happened.
Well, I'm sure you've been playing in games where you're the guy that's done a shot like that, and that's how was it for you? And then I guess you've been on the receiving end. So what's it like both ways?
Yeah, snooker's one of those sports where so much is mental, so you need to be able to recover from any kind of situation and stay calm. So, when it happens for you, it's great, but the most important thing is to take advantage of it. And then when it's going against you, you need to be able to handle, those kind of crazy emotions where, 1 minute you think that you've got the frame won, and then in an instant, in one shot, then all of a sudden it's flipped on its head, and then all of a sudden the other guy's the favourite to win the frame. So they're the constant sort of back and forth that you've got to have, those kind of mental battles with yourself to always stay positive.
Do you ever get conscious of the cameras being on you in situations like that, and you've got to have the right expression on your face?
Not so much anymore. It's kind of a bit more normal now for me. I think that, definitely the first few times I played on TV, I was really nervous, and I thought, if I miss this shot, what's everyone at home going to think of me? Or, you just kind of a lot more self-conscious about things, and is there any sort of dirt on my shoes, or, is there anything that kind of looks out of place? And but now it's just, I don't really sort of notice the cameras there anymore. I just go out and play and, try and put on a good performance for everyone watching.
Which we know you're going to do in the World Championships. And just one other thing, world number one, Judd Trump's come out with some comments about the game being stuck in a rut of the past, and it needs to move forward. It's falling behind a bit, and the waistcoats should go, and you should be allowed to play in a hoodie and a pair of sneakers and things like that. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think he was comparing how the snooker dress code hasn't really changed at all, comparing to the golf dress code, and I think he has a lot of really good points that we don't all need to we don't need to wear a waistcoat and bow tie for every event. I think some events that we play in the home nations, we just play in the black trousers, shoes, and a shirt, But I certainly see what he's saying, because we could certainly look at changing the dress code to be a bit more current than what it is. I think that, but we know the Chinese sponsors and that they really love the waistcoat and bow tie. They love that kind of aspect of it, But me as a player, it's not the most comfortable thing to be playing in for hours on end, you know, when you're in a waistcoat, bow tie and like shirt and stuff. And,
yeah.
I get away with it because, you know, I'm lean and look after myself. Same with Judd and Selby and a lot of the other players. But yeah, some of the other players would certainly welcome a change. And yeah, I think it's something worth looking at for sure, you know, because you can attract different sponsors. And yeah, you're sort of talking about the younger generation maybe not wanting to watch people or get excited about people wearing bow ties and waistcoats and stuff. So which you can certainly understand. And also, you know, you look at junior tournaments, you know, what kind of sort of like, you know, I can't imagine, for example, telling my son to put on a shirt, waistcoat and bow tie and tell him to play snooker. Like, you know, he'd be like, what? Why am I wearing all this? So
yeah.
I think that probably something needs to be looked at, but it's very important to keep the class in the game as well, you know, not to stray too far away from that.
So it'll be a while before we see someone out there in boardies, a T-shirt and a pair of thongs.
Yeah, maybe back home, in a snooker club back home.
And what was the AFL team that you followed back here, Neil?
Collingwood, unfortunately, we not having the best of starts. So yeah, we'll have to see. The whole list was that trade period I think we're still really hurting from that. So I think this year's going to be a little bit of a rebuilding year, and yeah, hopefully bounce back at some point this season a little bit, and the next year I guess probably make the list a bit stronger.
Well, we can not hope so if you're not a Collingwood supporter, but hope so if you're a Collingwood supporter like you. So I know where you're coming from. Well, Neil, it is great to be chatting to you. Thank you for talking to us. Good luck with the event next week, the World Championship, the Crucible. We know you're going to do well. Your cueing is sublime. It's been a pleasure watching you on the video footage that we get here. But good luck with everything. All the best to you and your family and your dad over there with you as well. We hope you win. We wish you every success, and thank you for joining us on Flow.
All right, cheers. Thank you very much for having me again.